Next on Belmont Park Live, stakes placed on turf as a 2-year-old looking ready. Appears on paper. He's ready to live up to his name as he gets back on the grass. Reigning champion trainer Chad Brown sends out a pair in today's finale. But it's Frontier Market who seems primed to break through and get his maiden win. And Todd Pletcher would love a shot to spoil Justify's Triple Crown coronation. We'll tell you the new plan and a new contender for the Belmont Stakes. It's all coming up on our Friday edition of Belmont Park Live, presented by Clayburn Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Joining us just in time for the start of a late pick 4, will there be another name added to that list of Triple Crown winners? We're going to find out on June the 9th when Justify tries to complete the sweep in the Belmont Stakes mile-and-a-half test of the champion. We'll talk plenty about Justify coming up in the show. Greg Wolf alongside former New York Met and LA Dodger Paul LaDuca, New York Racing Association handicapper Andy Serling. Maggie Wolfendale is with us in just a little bit. Good card today. This late pick 4, we got 3 races coming up on the turf, and that last race, Frontier Market, for Chad Brown. He is a first-time starter in the field, but towards the outside, the horse to beat. Yeah, it's a difficult pick 4. If you're able to get to that last race, I think a lot of people are going to lean their hopes on either of the two Chad Brown runners, the 5 or the 11, probably 11 more, but it's still going to be difficult to get to that last race because 6, 7, 8, very competitive.
I agree. It's a super competitive card today. Very, very wide open races. And Frontier Market is, as Greg said, very much the horse to beat. But he's also a horse who's had a lot of chances for Chad Brown. It seems like these maidens have a lot of chances. Trainers like Chad Brown, they usually win relatively quickly. And when they don't, sometimes they linger a long time and burn some money. And Scott Biedeneck, last time out, has definitely had a few chances to get it done. We'll see if today is the day for more on this afternoon card. Let's check in with Maggie Wolfendale.
Greg, and we do have the horses here getting ready for today's 6th race. And an interesting grouping of horses. We see some coming back in from out of town and some that have been doing their nice running here, and that includes number 5, Lion and Wait. But I want to take a look at the 2 fillies coming back to New York, or one that hasn't run here in the past is number 2, Hazana, who comes off of a 2nd place finish to a runaway winner last time out at Keeneland. And the argument can be made that Hazana is getting better, and she does look very good in here for trainer Michael Matz. She's extremely fit, extremely well conditioned here, and I think a little less distance should aid her a bit, and I'm hoping that, considering it was a mile and 1/8, she was a bit further back than you may have anticipated, and I hope she's not as far back. She just seemed as though she had too much work to do going back to that Keeneland race, but I do like what I see from her, and I like even more what I'm seeing from number 1 in here. She put a spell on me. Yes, she looks a little bit slower on paper, that's for sure, but maybe she can be part of the early pace. We'll see what Lion and Wait does here overall, but she does draw that rail spot, and I think, you know, going back to the first time I had seen her, which was in her debut, she has progressed pretty nicely from the physical vantage point in that she's filled out. She just looks like a stronger horse. She goes out here for Brian Lynch. We'll see what she does. Yes, she is going to have to improve. I do acknowledge that here, guys.
Maggie, thanks. Well, the post-parade for race 6 coming up in a moment. We're going to kick off this late pick 4 on the turf. 50,000 starter allowance at a mile and a 16th. That's 7th race. It's the only race that's on the main track here in our sequence. $30,000 maiden claiming group for New York breds on the inner turf sprinting in race 8. We'll close things out in race 9, mile and a 16th, in a maiden special weight on the grass. And the way they start that race over the Widener can be a tough post for Frontier Market to overcome, starting from the outside. Track conditions brought to you by Piranha Fly Spray. Preferred fly spray at Belmont Park. Piranha on, pests gone. Fast and firm. Beautiful weather. It's been beautiful the last couple of days here in Elmont, New York, as we take a look at the field and current odds for this 6th race here. And it is Lion in Wait, who raced and won just 9 days ago. That was on a good turf at Belmont. Now we'll try and go back-to-back.
Lion Wait is the horse to beat in the sense that she's run the fastest races on figures. It just feels like there's a number of horses in here that might be able to step up coming off of maiden wins or just improve in general, Paul.
Now, the inner turf has been faster, Andy, right? I mean, they were in 107. How was the outer turf?
Yeah, you know, I think in general, the wider you'll see in the route races, they'll be faster races because they'll feature faster paces, too, because of the configuration of the course more than anything else. When you look at the routes, I think the turf is pretty fair. It's gotten a bit firm. firm, believe it or not, after all the rain last week. How it's going to play out in here, maybe the 5 is the speed. We're looking at Hazana, who I picked, and I got to tell you, I'm not running the window to bet at 7-2.
No, I'm with you.
Because 7-2 doesn't seem like a bargain because she still has to improve. My hope with her was her last race was her best race, and maybe she's improving for a trainer, Mike Matz, who, of course, many may remember trained Barbaro.
Yeah, and you know, she was my top selection in here, too. I thought she improved last time, and here is my pick 4. I was trying to get to the last race. I thought these races were difficult in here. 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Race number 7. I'm going to use 5 deep in there. Maybe 2, 5, 7 in there. I might be going 2 deep in race number 8. It could be all about looking ready and forward motion. The 2 geldings in there that are both first-time gelding on the 4, and the 8 is a gelding. They might just be better than that group, but I'm not going to take the chance to just get to Chad Brown in the last, the 11, Frontier Market. Now, if you go look at the last race, he really wasn't hanging that bad, and he was 4 1/4 lengths clear. Maybe the time before that you could give him an excuse, but he's gotten beaten by a couple, and here is Lion in Wait. The 5 horse on this day battles on hard here.
Well, this was a very, very subpar field on paper, and Lion Wait was an overwhelming favorite. I mean, you rarely see turf horses 35 cents the dollar, and for my money, Paul, she actually had to work harder for that victory than you would have thought. Now, maybe with the Given the Ground, the runner-up, B3, like the Given the Ground, sometimes they'll improve, and she ran well because from a speed figure standpoint, she basically ran a race Lion Wait, and the truth is, from a speed figure standpoint, she runs her number, she's the horse to beat it here. I just feel like somebody may jump up and beat her.
She fits perfect in the condition, too. Because she dropped for 35, she gets right into this condition.
Yep. Well, we got a Chad Brown runner in this group as well. Just came off a $40,000 maiden claiming race. There she is, daughter of Lemon Drop Kid. And down to 3-1 right now, second choice on the board.
I'm not saying she can't win. I didn't like her last time. The horses that she beat last time are the kind of horses that would finish second to any 2 of us in a horse suit. They're just like sort of chronic maidens. I will agree that Sweet Connie Girl improved last time. I still think she needs to improve to win this race. And the problem is, Paul, you're getting 3-1 because of the Chad Brown factor, and I don't think she's necessarily any better than a number of horses in here. And to me, she's just bad value.
Is she 3-1 because, well,
Chad Brown?
Well, she's 3-1 because she can win, but she's also, she might be 9-2 with a different trainer or 5-1. And
True,
as good as Chad isn't necessarily enough to move this horse up.
I think 2 Castellano sticking. And I think that's helping the price, yeah.
You can play this pick 4, all the races that we show you, by getting signed up. Started with Naira Bets. Earn a $200 new member bonus by entering the promo code LIVE at sign up. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime, right from home or with the Naira Bets app. Go to nairabets.com. Use that promo code LIVE. Take advantage and get that $200 sign up promotion today. Another look at the daughter of Lemon Drop Kid there for Chad Brown. 3-1. There's Tiz Priceless. Got on the turf, second start of her career. And she aired in a 20 maiden claiming race at Gulfstream near the bottom.
She's 1 of 2 for trainer John Kimmel. The 6 Miss Munnings. The 6 Miss Munnings just looks faster. This one beat a very subpar field.
Yeah.
Here's our post parade. She put a spell on me. We'll start things off. Brian Lynch from down on the inside showed speed last start at Gulfstream.
It is quite a rider change to Jose Ortiz here, but she would have to improve.
Hazana, who Maggie was talking quite a bit about. John Velasquez for Michael Matz.
Yeah, it's confusing whether you want to read into, Velasquez going from the 5 to the 2, although Saez rode the 5, but Johnny V lands on this horse and is taking money.
3-1 right now. Untaken is the 3. Junior Alvarado aboard.
Based on her speed figure last time, she's good enough to win this, but she may have been carried along by running behind much better horses.
And faced Tizelle, who we talked about on the show a little bit yesterday. Very nice runner for James Bond. Lion in Wait. Won just 9 days ago on the turf.
She's the horse to beat based on her overall resume, but she is meeting a lot of new faces.
Miss Munnings, the other John Kimmel runner Andy was talking about, coming off a win last start at Aqueduct.
Yeah, her 9th time was a try. Maybe it was the blinkers. It was the 2nd time blinkers, and she has moved forward since they've added.
The Chad Brown runner we will see next. Sweet Connie Girl, coming off that 40 maiden claiming victory at Aqueduct.
She improved off a 9-month layoff to win last time. Can she take another step forward?
And Tiz Priceless on the outside. First try on turf. Low level, but was a win and did win convincingly.
Yeah, and did win by 5 1/4, like you said. It just shows you some horses just love the dirt, some love the turf. She took to the lawn last time. You're getting a good price at 14-1 if you want to take a stab.
142,000 plus in this pick 4 pool. You can play it, of course, at NyraBets.com. Going to take a break in the action. Lion in Wait, current favorite, looking to go back-to-back after having won just over a week ago for trainer Brad Cox. We'll have the 6th for you next.
It's Run Happy in front. Limousine Liberal, Holy Boss can get him. Run Happy has won the Nyra.com Kings Bishop by 4.
An undefeated graded stakes winner on the track, Algorithms was the nation's #1 sire of 2-year-olds in 2017 by percentage of winners. His top runners include multiple graded stakes performer Rich Mommy, winner of the Grade 3 Sugar Swirl, multiple stakes winner and graded stakes performer Recruiting Ready, and stakes winners He Hate Me and Sunset Ridge. In the ring, his yearlings have commanded prizes up to $220,000. Algorithms, standing at Clayburn Farm.
You're watching Belmont Park Live on MSG Plus. Getting the weekend started off on the right foot here. Late pick 4 coming up here at Belmont Park. And we're just 4 minutes to post here in the first leg of the sequence. There's Miss Munnings, 1 of 2 in the race for John Kimmel, with more on this 5-year-old mare. Let's go to Maggie.
And we will check in with Miss Munnings here, Greg. And a filly that, I mean, if you look at her buyer speed figures, she consistently runs the same figure pretty much every time she shows up at the racetrack. And that's a bit interesting. And if she shows up with her typical race, and maybe some don't, then why doesn't that not put her right in the mix here? And kind of talking to trainer John Kimmel, he felt as though she's actually stepped forward possibly off the back of that win. And as Paul brought up, the additional blinkers has seemed to have helped her. Number 7 is Sweet Connie Girl. And last time she showed a bit more early pace, I would say. And beneath Javier Castellano this time around, he bolted away from the pony. He gave her a big warm-up, and I love the way she was moving over the track. She looks fantastic, but ultimately, if you look at her form, she does look a bit more on the slower side, guys.
Good information, Maggie. Thank you very much. 7-2 right now on that Chad Brown filly, Sweet Connie Girls. We take a look at the 2. Hazana, who Andy was intrigued by, talked about earlier, had a maiden score at Gulfstream to kick off the year back on January 7th.
Right. The problem for me in general is that as a horse player, you know, you're a public handicapper. You make your picks days in advance. This is a horse that I don't know what price she was morning line, 6-1.
It's continued to get worse.
I wouldn't pick her better at 3-1 in a million years, you know. So I picked her. She's my pick, but I would never bet her. I think she's terrible, terrible value. If you like her, you are simply banking on the fact that she ran against better horses last time. The horse that finished in 3rd, Paul, right behind her, miraculously came back and improved her figure 12 points on the grass in her next start, albeit on yielding turf.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you know, I just think she's improved. I really do. I think she's really improving. And when you look at horses like the 3 Untaken, and then you go to the 5, they're 4-year-old fillies now compared to the 2. And then the 6 is a 5-year-old mare. What do you do with a 5-year-old mare that took so long? I mean, she debuted in 2016.
Well, one thing I'll say about the 6, Miss Munnings, as Maggie pointed out, her figures make her one of the major players here, the second likeliest winner based on figures behind Lion Weight. And she's a fair price at 5-1. Sometimes when they take forever to break their maiden and they win, they go, you know what, I kind of liked winning, and they win again. But she was about as fortunate to win a race as a horse could be last time, because not only did she get a good trip behind a very slow pace, but she saved ground the whole way, and the horses that were, the other horses, like the horse who was second and the horse who was third, were 3 and 4 wide around the racetrack, though from a standpoint of the race, she was far and away the third best horse in the race, and she won the race because she was lucky.
2s across the board for our analysts here. I wanted to ask you real quick about pace in this race. When Luis Saez has been on the 5 line and weight, it's been gate to wire both of those times. Not the fastest of fractions, but there's a couple in here who maybe could show some pace. What do you expect to see?
I think Louis is going to go to the lead, and if somebody really wants to be aggressive, they'll take it from him. But I think she's the fastest horse, and I think you made a very good point, Greg. Louis knows what to do with this horse, and that's go to the front and get out of trouble.
2-1, solid favorite, and there is a look at Lion and Weight.
When she ran badly 2 back Lion and Weight, she got badly blocked behind horses in the stretch, and it cost her all chance. She's not a horse that would have lost her race 2 back by 13 lengths. She probably would have finished second.
You make a great point there, because I think a lot of people look at her PPs and they say she needs the lead. She was going to come with a run that day, because Andy's right. She got dead stopped, and you could see she's passed horses before down in her PPs. So the 5 Lion and Weight does not need the lead, and all 3 of her wins are here at Belmont. That's why she's the favorite.
Getting set to load here again. Final chances to get down in this pick 4 on this Friday afternoon. Mile and 16th on the turf here to kick things off on the Widener turf course. And it is Lion in Weight trying to go back-to-back. Won just 9 days ago for trainer Brad Cox. We'll see if she can do it again here. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of horse racing's Triple Crown for the call, Larry Colmus.
Lion in Weight, the favorite, has moved into the starting gate at odds of 9-5. Here's Miss Munnings moving in, waiting for Sweet Connie Girl and Tis Priceless. Sweet Connie Girl is in the gate. Tis Priceless and Rajiv Mirage up to the outside stall. Rajiv looking for his second win today, goes in. They're all in line. They're off. Good beginning for Hosanna, and she put a spell on me. Lion and Weight is right up with them, though, and now pokes her head in front as the field races to the backstretch. Tis Priceless gets in the mix, and now takes second. Now it's these 2, Lion and Weight, and Tis Priceless 1-2 up the backstretch. She put a spell on me running in third. Hosanna is fourth, and then Miss Munnings on the outside. The trailers are Untaken and Sweet Connie Girl, and they run by the quarter in 23:03. Up the backstretch they go, Lion and Weight. And Luis Saez on top. Tis Priceless, 3/4 of a length off of her, running in second. She put a spell on me is third on the inside. Miss Munnings follows in fourth. Untaken grabs fifth inside of Hosanna. And the trailer is Sweet Connie Girl. Continuing up the backstretch in pursuit of favored Lion in Weight, who runs past a half mile in 46.08 seconds and leads it by 3/4 of a length. Tis Priceless on the outside is second. Then comes She Put a Spell on Me, third on the inside of Miss Munnings. Behind them is Untaken. Hosanna is second last. Sweet Connie Girl racing at the rear of the field as they round the far turn. Tis Priceless draws up alongside of Lion and Weight. And now the 2 of them are nose to nose on the lead. Miss Munnings a length and a half off of them. She Put a Spell on Me is going to cut the corner in fourth. A 3-wide run for Untaken. They're into the stretch. Tis Priceless and Lion and Weight locked in battle with Lion and Weight back in front now by a neck. Tis Priceless comes under a drive in second. Miss Munnings is third, and now trying to find a seam is Sweet Connie Girl, who's closing in from the back of the pack, splitting horses. And Untaken is there on the outside. Sweet Connie Girl got caught in traffic, still trying to get through there. They're coming down to the line. It's going to be a photo finish that goes to Lion and Weight. Untaken was second best under the wire. Then Miss Munnings and Sweet Connie Girl in 141.31.
Lion and Weight 9 days ago was in the winner's circle, and a quick return here. Goes back-to-back. Luis Saez aboard for the win.
I know there's a very game win here. I mean, they were not crawling on the front end. Felt like the half mile went in 46 flat, a mile and 16. They were running up front. She was very game here.
She was very game. I mean, you got to give Luis Saez credit. She went right to the front end with this filly. You know, the 2, Johnny V, he sort of took the filly back, but right here, you think she's buried. The 7 is sort of trying to look for horses, and she starts to get going about right here. The 6, you're thinking, is going to swing off cover and start to roll here. Now watch the 7 in the yellow silks, sort of like weaving in and out. But I don't know if she gets a better trip if she gets there or not, Andy.
Well, you want to get a clean, unencumbered run on the outside. If she did, she might have gotten up. Now, that's not to say she necessarily was best, but horses will get intimidated, I think, trying to run between into tight holes, and she had to do too much of it. I think the 6 ran back to her usual race. She had an absolutely perfect trip, as you pointed out, Paul, and she just had no finish at the end. If anybody was supposed to beat this horse, it was the 7, but I think you have to give credit. I mean, the 8 may have been overmatched, but she was on the pace and looked like a winner. We thought she might upset the field. She backed through the field. Our pick, the 2, had absolutely nothing. And she was overbet in this race. At the end of the day, sometimes you overcomplicate it. This horse was just the one to beat.
No, and you got to give credit to the 3. I guess the 3 might have, I mean, the 3 was overland route the whole time, and it ran really well.
Yeah, winds up second in here under Junior Alvarado. But it's Lion and Wait who gets the job done. Bet down to 8-5 at post time and guts this one out. Great job by Luis Saez. Got to the front early.
That's where you have to read the conditions, and he got this horse in by dropping for 35, non-3. The condition says if the horse is in for 50 or a non-winner, maiden claiming. And now this horse is 4 for 7 over the Belmont turf. All 4 wins here at Belmont.
Specialist horse for course, getting it done. Pick 4 underway with the favorite, Lion and Wait. 5-3, 6-7 finish. We're going to step aside for a timeout. Triple Crown will be on the line. Here's Justify from earlier this morning. We'll talk Justify and Baffert next.
This successful son of AP Indy has sired 6 millionaires, including 2017 Eclipse champion 3-year-old West Coast. A dominant winner of the Grade 1 Travers and Pennsylvania Derby, West Coast also placed in the Breeders' Cup Classic and was runner-up in the $16 million Pegasus World Cup. In the sales ring, juveniles by Flatter brought up to $600,000, and his yearlings sold up to $460,000. Flatter, standing at Clayburn Farm.
Back on Belmont Park Live, you can play all these races that we show you each and every day. Get signed up, started with Naira Bets. Watch, wager, win, and that's the key part, repeat. Hopefully that's what's happening in your account. Lion and Wait, the favorite, kicks off the late pick 4. Let's go downstairs to Maggie for more.
And Greg, I'm joined by Kent Kilpatrick of Circle B Racing. And Lion and Wait, Kent, she has been quite a producer for you guys. 4 wins now since you've claimed her.
Yes, we're thankful to have her in the stable, and it's just been the best time, and we're so proud of her. She just likes to go wire to wire and never quits for us, so we're thankful to have her part of the team.
Well, she is. She's quite a consistent runner, that's for sure. And Kent flew all the way up here from Tennessee. I can tell you're obviously not from these parts with that twang.
That's right. That's right. Hillbilly. It's likes to be from the mountains, and flew up here to New York just for the day, but my wife told me I better not miss this. She had a feeling we'd have a good day, so I'm thankful we came up for it, and a great effort by the Brad Cox team, and we're thankful.
Fill me in a little bit about Circle B Racing. It's a group of guys, right?
It is. There's 4 of us from East Tennessee, or actually one gentleman from Las Vegas, but we're just passionate about horse racing and just getting started in everything pretty much. But Tom Bickers has led the way for us, and he's the managing partner for us, and he's helped us to pave the way, I guess, to have a Tennessee horse racing team, and that's what we want.
Well, it's awesome. We're glad you guys are here in New York as well, and you're very well coordinated and very well dressed. Congratulations, though, with Line and Weight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Greg.
Maggie, thank you. So a very happy group right there. Lion and Weight gets the job done for Circle B Racing. $5.30 for the victory. Luis Saya is aboard for the win for trainer Brad Cox.
Congratulations. It's fillied by American Lion out of the Macho Uno mare. Don't surprise me for Circle B Racing. Now 4 for 12 lifetime.
Take a look at the Naira bets. Late pick 5 follow along. Close to 55,000 in that pool. Dirty started it off at a bit of a price. And the favorite in Lake 2. And a long way to go.
Dirty's going to make this start okay. We've seen it pay in the thousands to 2,000s with a couple favorites. So if you get another horse, some boxcars there, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, we've got a couple difficult races ahead, which we'll set up here shortly. Time right now for what's trending. Again, a Triple Crown going to be on the line here June the 9th for the Belmont Stakes. And Justify, according to the New York Times and ESPN, reportedly a deal reached for his breeding rights by Coolmore, who also bought the rights to the last Triple Crown winner, American Pharoah. The price in the range of $60 million, but reportedly if he wins the Triple Crown, could be another $25 million or so. Windstar Farm said nothing finalized and won't be in the foreseeable future. But those are the reports out right now. Of course, Justify, the most famous Scat Daddy offspring, which Coolmore also stood at stud. Elliott Walden, part owner of Justify, was in Kentucky yesterday to see Justify gallop. Here he is on how the horse is doing.
Great energy. You know, the day after the Preakness, when he had an opportunity to be in the back of his stall hanging his head, he was trying to bite your head off. So, you know, he's a big horse, and I think that really helps him play into this whole 2 weeks and 3 weeks and being able to sustain his form. And I know Bob's very confident. I'm not quite as confident because that's not my nature, but Bob's very confident, and we'll see what happens. But you couldn't be happier with the way the horse is doing.
Look at the Belmont Stakes contenders and who is going to tackle Justify in that 1.5-mile test of the champion. Peter Pan winner, Blended Citizen. Connections believe he loves this racetrack.
The crazy part is one of the worst beats in horse racing history was real quiet here at Belmont. And Victory Gallop was trained by Elliott Walden. Now Bob Baffert is training horses for Elliott Walden for a Triple Crown. That's crazy.
Yeah, and Elliott would be training the runner-up in that Belmont if Gary Stevens hadn't given him a great ride and Kent DeSorma hadn't given real quiet a terrible ride.
Yeah.
Well, Todd Pletcher, he is going to be represented in the race. Vino Rosso back to work, your Wood Memorial winner at Aqueduct, who for a long, long time has been so good in the mornings. Noble Indy's on the inside working in here. Noble Indy going to be lining up with the Belmont for Todd as well. This was on the main track earlier at Belmont this afternoon. Here is Todd on 2 horses that Mike Rapoli is going to have in the Belmont now.
Thought Vino Rosso and Noble Indy both breezed exceptionally well. It was a little bit quicker than we wanted, but they both seemed to do it well in hand. Very comfortable, galloped out strongly. After talking to everybody, I think both of them are in the mix for the Belmont now.
I just said to Mike that if you feel like and Todd feels like Noble Indy's got a chance to win, albeit I think that Justify probably has the best chance and he might have to not run his best race. But at that point, somebody else, if Justify doesn't run his best race, somebody else is going to win it. So I feel like that we've got a shot with Noble Indy if Justify doesn't run his best race. And I think that's true for anybody. But, you know, he's not going to be used as a rabbit. So from that standpoint, Mike's on board, I'm on board, and I don't think it really matters anyway. Justify went head-to-head with the 2-year-old champion for 7/8 of a mile and looked him straight in the eye and won anyway. So it doesn't really matter. If he runs his race, we'll be good.
I think most people feel if Justify runs his race, he's the best horse among this crop. What do you think about this new addition here?
Well, Noble Indy to me is absolutely a rabbit. I actually Noble Indy's a really good horse, but they're running him as a rabbit in here because he has early speed and they're going to use it to try to help Vino Rosso. It's not necessarily going to hurt Justify. It's just going to make sure the pace is honest. Justify can rate, though I'm sure Bob Baffert's not thrilled with that entry. He's thinking to himself, at the very least, I want to draw outside of Noble Indy.
Elliot Walden said that Noble Indy's not going to be a rabbit.
I think he's going to be a rabbit.
I'm with you.
I don't care what he says. I couldn't care less what he says. That horse is a rabbit to ensure a fast pace for Vino.
And that horse is not winning the Belmont.
Yeah, he wasn't running them, and then suddenly they're running them.
Yeah.
By the way, I like that they're running them. I think it's the right move. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all.
You want to see everyone. You want to see everyone give this horse their best shot. Audible, though, will not run. Galloped this morning at Belmont, and it's going to be a pass for the third and final leg of the Triple Crown. Let's listen to Todd Pletcher on the plans for this horse and what's next.
I thought Audible galloped okay. After talking to Elliot, we've decided that we're going to freshen him up, point for a summer campaign. I don't feel like he's doing quite as well as he was leading into the Derby. We've kind of had a couple of weeks here where a lot of his training's been on sloppy tracks, but now that we've had some good weather and some good surfaces, I just don't feel like he's where he needs to be to feel like he's going to win the Belmont. So talked to Elliot a little bit after we watched him train and decided that freshen him up with the idea of maybe the Jim Dandy or the Haskell being his next start.
So Audible out, going to pass on the Belmont, but Noble Indy in for that barn. I want to remind everyone, buy your tickets now. Get them. They're going fast. All reserved seats are gone already, but you can still be part of the action for the 150th edition of the Belmont Stakes. Go to belmontstakes.com. General admission, just $25. Get your tickets before they are all gone. We're going to take a break in the action. We'll be back. We will talk more of those who are going to face Justify, including Hofburg, when we come back on Belmont Park Live.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Oh, Belmont's going to be rocking on June the 9th. Want to remind everybody you can watch all the Belmont races and even this show from your cell phone with alternate camera angles, expert analysis on all the races with the NYRA Now app. Available for download on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, and Chromecast. Just search for NYRA Now to start enjoying all the NYRA content. We're going to check in now with Maggie Wolfendale for a Paddock report. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, standing Curlin for $150,000. Maggie?
Thanks, Greg. And we'll take a look at 2 of the 3 first-time starters here, and one is taking a little bit of play, and as we thought she would, and that is number 5 in here, Long Eyelashes, for who other than Rudy Rodriguez. And honestly, I do probably like her the best of any of the firsters in that she's a good size. There's a lot of substance to her, but with that, she also looks quick, and she looks as though she may have some early speed. She's just kind of built downhill, bigger hindquarters to her, and so far she's been pretty professional here in the paddock as well. So we'll see. I think she is a logical type of horse to use protectively here on debut. Now, number 4 is coming up from Fairhill for trainer Kelly Rubley. That's Classic Lady. She's a bit more on the smaller side, which is somewhat typical with the Jimmy Creed bloodline, but I like her walk. She has a bigger horse walk, and she really kind of strides out nicely and over tracks pretty well too. She does come in here extremely fit looking. I mean, possibly even more fit looking than Long Eyelashes, but we'll see. She is a daughter of Mineshaft, Jimmy Creed, as I was... Wow, I'm getting confused here. But I like her. There's not as much pedigree or connections to write home about as the aforementioned Long Eyelashes, but she's intriguing here, making her debut as we just got the Riders Up call, Greg.
10-1 on that first-time starter. There's 3 of them in this race. The third one, I'm going to wait and let Larry Colmus tell us the name of that one. Tough one to get out. The 6-horse.
Irish wristwatch.
Very
you
nice.
You got to take a big, deep breath between them, which is not going to be easy for Larry.
If there's a photo between 2 horses with that one at the end, it's going to be tough.
I think that it's lousy when people name horses to try to trip up announcers.
I agree.
Their jobs, it makes the jobs really tough.
Yeah. Here's the 3-2 favorite. Pursuing Justice, dropping in for a tag for the first time, start number 3 for Linda Rice.
I regrettably scratched into this horse. I love the one here, Glitterification, for better or for worse, who scratched. I hate it when I scratch into the favorite of a horse I wanted to bet. She probably wants less distance, and the drop down will help her. She did gallop out strongly in her debut, but there are some questions. Why would Linda Rice drop a horse, a filly, with this good a pedigree in for a tag? She might be worth more than $30,000 as a broodmare.
The thing about it that blows my mind is, okay, I know she was part of an entry, so you're wondering, okay, was the other part of the entry getting bet? She was 6-5 first time out. And then she was favored again. They went in there twice for a maiden special weight, and boom, after 2 flops, she's already in for 30 as a filly, and she does have a good pedigree. There is cause for concern with the 2.
$200 new member sign-up bonus. Use that promo code LIVE. Go to NYRABets.com. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime, including this race we have coming up. Go to NYRABets.com, promo code LIVE, and get $200 in your account when you bet $200. So look at the 7. This is Magari for James Bond. Stumbled out of the gate, wound up a distant second in a similar condition last start.
This horse is getting better. I thought the first race was okay from the 1 hole, and sometimes people forget about the horse that's in this condition, and, she's in good form.
I don't like her even a little bit. She'll probably win.
7-2. You can't. I mean, in this field, she's got to be a player, no?
Got to have an opinion somewhere.
Pursuing Justice. Here we go. The class dropper for Linda Rice, the favorite.
Been favored 2 times in a row and going to be favored again on the drop here.
Light Worker we'll see next at 8-1, making career start number 3.
First start in almost 10 months. She actually ran fast enough to win this race last time in Saratoga.
One of the first-time starters that Maggie was talking about in our Paddock report. Here's Classic Lady by Jimmy Creed.
Yeah, David Cohen with the mount here, 10-1. This horse for Kelly Rubley, 0 for 29 with his first-time starters.
And another firster we heard about for Maggie for Rudy Rodriguez. Long Eyelashes getting Lasix for the debut.
Is she bet because of the connections or because there's word on her? Her dam was trained by the late, great Dominic Galuccio.
Irish Wristwatch is the 6. Jose Lescano aboard.
Well, it doesn't get much New York bred than this. A Freud filly out of a bold ruckus mare. And this horse been working at Saratoga, comes down here for Bloodlines Racing Partnerships.
Who has been?
Irish Wristwatch.
Nice. We've all got it out cleanly. Magari is the 7, and 7-2. It will be Dylan Davis aboard for James Bond.
Paul likes her. I don't. Probably win.
Coming off arguably her best effort, although that might have been first time out when she ran against New York bred maiden specials. Here is Speed Khaleesi to the outside, start number 2, and just claimed.
This is the wild card horse. I thought an pretty good race first time out. Oscar Barrera is okay off the claim. You get Pablo Fregoso. With a better break, maybe this horse will get picked. I know our own David Aragona likes this one a little bit.
How about Linda Rice? Maiden special to maiden claiming. New York bred races on the dirt over the last 5 years. 22% win percentage.
Not very good. 133 ROI, not delivering to her odds. Linda's a big stat trainer. Stats hold up, and she's got a lot of good ones.
Yeah. Fairly aggressive warm-up here for Pursuing Justice. We're going to take a break. That is the horse to beat on the board, 8-5 here in race 7 for Belmont. We'll be back.
Back to the outside. Exaggerator down to the 16th pole, but Exaggerator has turned the tables. He has won the Preakness. He has won the Travers over American Flag. Irish War Cry has won the Wood Memorial. Good Magic's gonna win his first race, and he's gonna do it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
You're watching Belmont Park Live on MSG Plus. Happy Friday afternoon to everybody. Thanks for spending part of it with us. Greg Wolf, Paul LaDuca, Andy Serling, and Maggie Wolfendale. And that is a look at first-time starter, Long Eyelashes for Rudy Rodriguez.
Yeah, I like this horse a little bit. And the reason why I like the steady work pattern on the training track. And what you want to do is you want to look for a fast work somewhere or just all slow works. And what I do like is they put it in the horse for 40,000, or they bought the horse for 40,000. They put the horse in for 30. So if they win the race and the horse gets claimed, they're out. It's a reasonable spot. But the key to me is you get Irad Ortiz Jr. And this horse has been working so slow that I'm thinking that he's going to show speed, or she's going to show speed from the gate.
Right now, 5-2, second choice on the board. The favorite continues to be the horse on the inside, Andy, Pursuing Justice.
I think that Paul brings up an interesting point, is who is going to be the speed, because your horse is bred to go long. So I do wonder how much speed Long Island will have. And you mentioned that that Jose Ortiz was warming this 2 up. Maybe he's going to try to get him in the game more earlier. She hasn't shown speed before from the inside. There's an impetus to get out there. I could probably spend more time telling you why not to bet this horse. You know, the pedigree and the drop down like this. Linda's being realistic, I guess. First time out, she actually galloped out very strongly after a bad start. And that's usually a good sign for Linda's second time out. She was flat out dreadful and should have been second last time out. I will say one thing in her favor. She was outside, and you might have wanted to be towards the inside in that race. And it was, you're right, 15 days after her debut.
With more on Pursuing Justice in her third start. Let's go to Maggie.
And it's interesting that Andy brings up the fact that she hasn't shown any speed, and she's been very slow. But I think Jose Ortiz is going to try to implore her to show a little pace, at least from what I had seen from him in the warm-up from this duo. Now he's got his feet kicked out of the iron, saying, okay, let's conserve some of this energy, and is staying with the pony. But she did get a very vigorous warm-up here. I will say she looks better than what she did in her last start here for Linda Rice. Her coat's kind of come around. She's kind of blossomed into what you want to see, especially from a filly at this time of year. So she's made that leap forward. And I really do think that Linda's just being realistic with this filly and that she hasn't shown her much. And now she just needs to be in this maiden claimer. As we will take a look at number 3, Light Worker, coming off an extended layoff dating back to Saratoga against her lone try against New York breds. And this filly has grown, and she is fill out, and she is stronger than what I had seen from her in the past. Now, there is an argument to be made that it's a pretty long layoff. She doesn't run on Lasix. Maybe she'll need this start just to kind of bring herself together and get a little more race fit. But she could very well work herself into those exotics here, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you. Yeah, going to be interesting to see who goes to the front. This is a favorite of everybody. I think a lot of people in horse racing might remember this one. Let's go back to the 6, Irish Wristwatch, a half to one of the great calls from Tom Durkin. Arg! You remember that horse? Had the stretch stool?
Was it a good at the end or just R?
No, it was R. Tom really entertained the crowds in Saratoga, I think. I think he won actually pretty easily up there a couple times, and it's a crowd favorite. And nobody knew how to play the crowd better than Tom. And he was very selective when he would, come up with his fun calls. He didn't overwhelm people by doing gimmicks too often.
All out.
Yeah, he did. But Tom knew how to go over the top at the right time.
Yes, he
Listen,
did.
people loved it, and the game is supposed to be entertaining, and Tom was the master entertainer.
Absolutely. Loading up like 2 of the pick 4. Even money now on Pursuing Justice, the 2.
It's almost like they have nobody else they want to bet on, and I have no idea in this race. I end up on this horse. Like I said, I like the 1. We'll be interested to see how it plays. I'm interested to see what your horse does, folks. I wonder if they're betting for the connections or if there's a tip on this horse. I'm dubious.
That's the 5. He's talking about Long Eyelashes, the first-time starter for Rudy Rodriguez. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of New York Racing for the call for race 7. Larry Colmus, take it away.
Just waiting now for Irish Wristwatch to move into the starting gate. Here is Magari. And the last one in will be Speed Khaleesi. Completing the line here. Even money on Pursuing Justice. And that inside stall. As Speed Khaleesi and Pablo Fragoso come up to complete the line here. They go in. And they're all in line. They're off. A good start by Speed Khaleesi. Magari's got some early speed, too. These 2 out to the front. And then it's Light Worker out running in 3rd on the inside. Irish Wristwatch goes up on the outside of Classic Lady. And they're followed by Pursuing Justice along the rail. And the trailer is Long Eyelashes. Long Eyelashes has given them a 9-length start as they move for the far turn. Speed Khaleesi on top. Magari is 3 lengths behind running in 2nd. Light Worker follows in 3rd. And then it's Pursuing Justice 4th on the inside. Irish Wristwatch. Willie needs to rage a wally. About 7 lengths off the lead. Then Long Eyelashes and Classic Lady at the back of the pack. Around the far turn, it is Speed Khaleesi on top of Magari by 2. As they come toward the top of the stretch, they're clear by 3 now. As Light Worker runs along in 3rd position. And now, Long Eyelashes has picked it up on the outside and is coming 4 wide as they move to the top of the stretch. Long Eyelashes was far behind, but now has rallied up on the outside to engage Magari. And the 2 of them are right together as they come into the final furlong, and between those 2, Light Worker digs in 2. Magari, Light Worker, and on the outside, Long Eyelashes. The 3 of them come down to the line. Magari's got it close to home. Magari is the winner. 2nd was close there. It may have been Light Worker in a photo with Long Eyelashes, and then Pursuing Justice.
It's Magari in race 7. James Bond Barn and Dylan Davis team up.
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, sometimes you project. We're projecting the 5 or first-time starter. We're projecting the 2 on the drop. But the horse that's been solid at this level is the 7 Magari, and that's who wins the race.
you know, the first-time starters probably needed races. The 5 a little slow coming out, the 3 off a layoff, the 2 coming up the rail. The 2's just not much worse, and I didn't like Magari. Magari got it done. Makes me upset. Clarification scratched.
5 is probably bad. I mean, the 5 got dead left here. Now the 3 runs a courageous race in between horses, by the way.
But to be honest with you, the pace fell apart. I mean, in fairness, you know, Magari was chasing the pace that fell apart. And the 5, the 2, the 3, they had better trips sitting in back. They got there. Yeah. They just didn't have the horse to close down Magari. I'm going to tell you, I won't be betting back anybody out of this race.
Yeah, there's no stars in here for sure. We're going to go back to the start as well. The horse who wins this race at the beginning of the race, causing some issues with the 6. Keep your eyes on the 7 coming over on the 6. Here it is.
That's
that's the 6 also broke a little bit slowly, and that gets exacerbated because the horse will sort of break to that open space. Nothing to see there. Magari gets it done. I told you when I said Paul likes him, I don't. Winner, tried to help you.
So the 5 was the best. I mean, the 5 ran a giant race to do what she did, but you can't take away anything from Magari, his daughter Tisway, and a New York bred that's been getting better and better, and the 6.5 furlongs probably helped her.
7, 3, 5, 2, 3-1 on Magari. Third choice on the board, getting the job done. Young Dylan Davis in the irons for the win. Going to take a break in the action. More Belmont Park Live. Coming up on this Friday afternoon, D. Wayne Lukas, the coach, talking his thoughts on Justify and his good friend Bob Baffert. We'll have that for you when we come back. Stay tuned.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
Back on Belmont Park Live, race 7 in the books. It was Magari in the 7th. I always love to see this barn win. James Bond Barn getting it done. And Kevin Bond, Andy Serling, was just singing his praises for the tremendous work he has done all winter long. He is with Maggie downstairs.
Yes, Kevin. Did you know that you're Andy Serling's favorite person?
I did not.
That you are. He does.
But it's definitely a compliment, so he knows what he's talking about, so happy to hear that.
And in regards to Magari, she actually didn't have that much trouble with the 6.5 after kind of coming up short in previous races. Talk about her effort today.
Yeah, I mean, she was in perfect position. Dylan had her in a great spot. She broke sharp. I was a little nervous when I saw the horses coming off the turn, getting closer to her, but she, at the 8th pole, she dug in and fought them off, and I'm very, very proud of her because we've been waiting for her to get the job done.
And one that should likely be a favorite looking forward to Monday is Tizelle in the Mount Vernon, and she's a pretty nice turf filly for you guys.
Yeah, she's one of our favorites, and she's been up at the spa getting ready with my brother and my father up there, and she's going to join us here pretty soon, and hopefully we'll get lucky on Memorial Day.
Excellent. Well, we love those progeny of Tisway, and you've done very well with them. Congrats here, though, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Tizelle, I'm looking forward to that. I love that filly for a long time.
She's game, too. She got a ton of class.
We got to get Kevin to take the sunglasses off for the interview.
Why?
I agree. You got to see the eyes.
Listen. He went Magnum PI, okay? He just won a race.
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
Congratulations, by the way, to this daughter of Tisway at the double negative. Yes, the double negative mare.
Wow.
Shock it. Shock it good.
She's been a good dam, actually. She's had a number of nice runners, and I think Jimmy Bond actually trained all of them.
Late pick 5 follow along for Naira Bets. Total pool 54,959. Magari, third choice on the board. Gets the win in the third leg. And this 8th race, not easy.
No.
Nor the 9th.
None of them are easy for me.
We're going to take a break of the action up close and personal with the coach, Dwayne Lukas. When we come back, you got to be in it to win it. He'll be in the Belmont. We'll be back.
Grade 1 winner Lee traveled the world competing against the best of his generation. A graded stakes winner on both dirt and turf, he set a new track record in the Grade 1 Don Handicap and retired with earnings of more than $2.3 million. With his much-anticipated first foals hitting the ground this year, the sky is the limit for this promising young stallion, Lee, at Clayburn Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
are in front with 100 yards to come. Go for Gin and Strode's Creek, and here's the wire, and Tabasco Cat will prevail. It's Thunder Gulch unwavering on the outside. Star Standard is giving his all, but his best is going to be second best today. It's going to be Thunder Gulch. The Derby winner has won the Belmont Stakes, and trainer Wayne Lukas into the Triple Crown record books. And it is Skip Away running the race of his life today. Editor's note on the outside giving his all. It's going to be close. Editor's note and Skip Away. And Editor's note has won. Editor's note has won the Belmont. It's still Commendable with Pate. Pate and Commendable, they're coming down to the line. And they pull it off again at 18-1 for trainer Wayne Lukas.
Not one, not two, not three, 4 Belmont victories for the coach, D. Wayne Lukas, including that crazy upset with Commendable at 18-1 back in 2000. As he has always said in his career, you got to be in it to win it. He'll be in it again with bravado this year. Former Louisville Courier-Journal reporter Jenny Reese talked to D. Wayne Lukas about his thoughts on the Belmont and Justify.
He's the best horse. We still got him to deal with, very much so. We could get another one right in a row, and they'll bronze Bob and put him in the paddock at Santa Anita if that happens. They got a couple statues now. They got Whittingham and Pinkai and Shoemaker. I don't know why they don't have Bob. I think that's coming.
What do you admire most about Justify?
I like his physique. You know, he's just a big, strong horse that gets over the ground, and I was impressed with him this morning. I watched him. When I took mine out, I was right in front of him, and I told Jimmy when he came with him, I said, I went in front of you because that's probably the last time I'll be in front of you. And so he laughed. But he's got, I think, what it takes. He's got a pedigree. He's got great depth through his heart, and he's got tactical speed. Boy, tactical speed is so important. You know, when you see, you guys sit here, and we all do it. We talk about the 20-horse field and the trip. Now, when you get a horse like him, he makes his trip. He ain't worrying for somebody else to get out of the way. He makes it. He determined exactly where he wanted to be and did everything he wanted to do in the Derby. Then we go to the Preakness, and he did the same damn thing again. It come up muddy. He didn't take back. He went and he got on the pace. He took all the heat. So he determines what he wants to do, and he'll probably do that in the Belmont too. It'll depend on what Bob wants to do, but he makes his own luck. It's another thing when you're training a horse, and we all stand here and say, well, there's not a lot of speed in the race. I hope somebody goes with him. You know what I mean? You want the other guy to do the heavy lifting. You want the other guy to help you. He doesn't give a damn.
D. Wayne Lukas, legendary holding court there in Louisville. He'll have bravado, of course, in the Belmont. Just ran second in the Preakness to Justify. Get another crack at him. Greg Wolf, Paul LaDuca, Andy Serling with you. Maggie Wolfendale with us as well. And waiting to see what will happen if we'll have a Triple Crown on June the 9th here with Justify. But D. Wayne's going to tackle him one more time. Jenny Reese had an opportunity to talk to D. Wayne also on his training tactics and how he differs from Bob Baffert.
Not much, not a lot. Both of us train our horse. Both of us are very conscious of conformation of what we got to work with. We're really big on conformation. Bob's one of the few guys, there's probably maybe 2 and possibly 3 guys in the world that if they told me, go look at this horse, he's a super nice horse, you're gonna like him, I'd go and I really would like him. If Bob told me that, I wouldn't have to go look. I'd just say, well, mark that one down in the catalog because he's a hell of a nice horse. And so the other thing is we like horses that have tactical speed. Both of us train that way. You very seldom see a Baffert or a Lukas horse drop way out of it. They'll get into the race. They may not be 1-2, but they'll be up there forwardly placed. And that, I think, comes from training. We both are very similar in approach. The work pattern, getting them back from a race, very similar, very similar.
Stylistically a lot different.
Bob dropped a couple off to me, including his wife's horse, and didn't even tell me what to do with it. I said, what do you want to do? He said, whatever you want, just go ahead, get him ready to run. And then it was interesting, when I won with Jill's horse here, I told him, I said, what are you going to do with that horse? And he said, I don't know. What do you think? I said, run that horse back in 2 weeks. Now, if I'd have said that to 9 out of 10 trainers on the backside, they'd say, I said, Bob, run him back in 2 weeks. You're going to win again. So what did he do? He shipped him to New York, ran him back in 2 weeks. He won. You know, so that's shows that we probably have the same mindset. I just thought he was a big, heavy-set horse that needed another one right away. And so he picked up 2 checks. Jill didn't want to pay me, but that was okay.
But while you have the same mindset, you do seem to have a different means of getting there. Bob, his horses work fast, and you don't really seem so caught up in time and...
Mine, I don't get caught up in it, but mine work pretty... Mine work pretty fast. The only difference is his are faster. his work fast because they're easy. They can do it easy. Mine have to work at it.
Brings up a neat point. I mean, it's too. When do you see horses from either of those 2 barns come and making a late run from the back of the pack? They put speed into their horses, and a big reason they've been so successful.
Well, the one thing you're forgetting about all this, they both come from a quarter horse background. If you ask Dwayne Lukas who's the best horse he ever trained, he puts Dash for Cash up there, who's one of the best quarter horses ever. It's probably the Seattle Slew of sires when it comes to quarter horses. So that's why they're able to instill speed. What makes them more phenomenal, they're able to hold the speed going 1.5 miles.
Todd Pletcher years ago said to me, Wayne Lukas made a lot of money sending speed horses to the lead. And sometimes we overcomplicate things. Yeah. Wayne always knew the value of speed. Yep. He does to this day.
The most dangerous thing in the sport is speed.
Got him his 14th, right?
Yeah.
Tremendous career.
Yeah.
Love Wayne.
Bravazzo going to take one more shot at Justify coming up, of course, on June the 9th. We got the 8th race coming up, and time for a Paddock Report. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, Stan and Curlin, for $150,000. Let's go to Maggie Wolfendale.
And guys, we do see horses on the walking ring here for today's 8th race. And we'll start by looking at number 4 in here, Looking Ready, who returns as a new gelding off the layoff back on the turf. And arguably, he's run his best races on the turf just because of the nature of the competition that he has faced in both those open graded turf efforts and stakes. So I like the fact that we're coming back on the turf. I like the fact that we're sticking with 6 furlongs this time of year. The thing is, though, is he's not really filled out or grown or changed much, period, from 2 to 3. I would have liked to see that, but given the fact that, like I said, he comes back at 6, that's okay. He is also wearing an extended cage bit. That's probably the most severe bit that you can race in. So he does seem as though he sometimes had a propensity to want to get out a little bit, so hopefully that keeps him on a straight course here. But really, the horse that caught my eye the most is the one coming in off the back of a maiden win in number 8, Forward Motion. This horse has moved forward off of that race. He's just got this big, confident walk to him. I just love what I'm seeing from him here for Linda Rice. I think he's very dangerous here, Greg.
All right, our post parade here coming up shortly. This 8th race, favorite right now, Looking Ready for Bruce Levine. 2 turf starts. They were both in stakes races and stakes placed on the grass as well.
You know, pace will be interesting in here because Belleville Spring will probably try to go from the rail, and even Ethan Hunt could try to go. He's been a speed type, but is he fast enough at 6 furlongs in the turf to be a speed? I will tell you, his last turf race in the AWOD, a race won by one of your favorite horses, Therapist, Greg. That race collapsed, and he held well for 3rd. This is a talented runner. He may be the best turf horse in this race, but is he going to be the best horse at 6 furlongs off a layoff?
Yeah, that horse, Grand Motion, I believe.
Therapist?
Yeah.
Christophe Clement.
I'm sorry, Christophe Clement. Yeah, excuse me.
I'll apologize to him for you.
I want to say a couple of stakes wins now for that horse.
Yeah. Stake in Florida.
Here's a look
at the AWOD. Yeah, this was the AWOD where he's like, listen, I know he's in front, and does he want to go this mile or not? But he's getting run by VIP Code and Therapist, going to get run down. He does get a little bit like lonely. He's drifting a tiny bit. Is he getting tired? Yeah. But he starts to dig in here late. I actually like this. He's getting swallowed, but still a good effort.
There's question marks for him, though. He came back. He'd run well on dirt. He broke his maiden on dirt. He didn't show anything.
It was bad last time.
In the debut, but gelded since that time and apparently working better since that time, too. Here's Belleville Spring from the inside for George Weaver.
Does not have a pedigree that screams turf, but could be the speed, maybe an upsetter.
Scratch the 2, the 3 Outrageous Bet, trained by Gary Contessa.
Will be happy cutting back a furlong from 7 furlongs last time where he was too close to the pace. One big late run.
Looking Ready, our 2-to-1 current favorite. See here in a moment, son of More Than Ready.
Yeah, he's a first-time gelding. One race since October, but his races over the turf are way better, and he's getting back on the green.
A couple of sharp works for him as well. Ethan Hunt, we've talked a lot about on our show over the last couple of years.
An improved horse. Toscano's ran well enough in his turf debut. It may have been flattered by the dynamics.
Bullet Drill coming off that effort as well. Here's the 8, Forward Motion, Linda Rice coming off a maiden win.
I think this gray's got a big shot. Actually, first time out was maybe better than the last win, but always first time against winners is the toughest time. 3-1.
Shiraz next door at 7-2 with Kendrick Carmouche aboard from Mike Maker.
My selection, and in my opinion, the most talented horse in this race, but he is a horse that seems to get himself into trouble time after time.
And on the outside, here is Luzinski, Dylan Davis aboard.
Well, the only thing I can say is that I played with Ryan, and his father, Greg, was a great hitter.
Great filly.
Yeah.
Saw him play against the Giants back when Jack Clark was on the Giants.
The Bull?
Wow.
The Bull? Candlestick.
The Bull?
We're going to take a break in the action. We'll be back. Hall of Fame coach, look at this resume. 4-time Eclipse Award winner, 14 Triple Crown race wins. Baffert just recently tied that number. Can he get a 5th Belmont victory with Bravazzo? He's going to try on June the 9th. What a career for the coach. We'll be back with more. So many great things about New York. Look at Shakespeare Theater there, of course, Shakespeare in the Park. Andy, you're going to be going in a few days coming up. Directed by Othello, Tony winner Ruben Santiago Hudson this summer.
I love the public, and the Shakespeare, obviously Shakespeare in the Park is tremendous. I've gone to so many of them. I saw Othello actually at the public theater with Raul Julia playing Othello and Chris Walken playing Iago.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow,
like
that
late 80s.
Incredible.
Yeah, I saw Chris Walken in a few plays down there. I've seen a lot of plays there.
8th race coming up. That is a look at Belleville Spring for trainer George Weaver. With more on this field, let's go to Maggie.
Unfortunately, you can't see the equipment on Belleville Springs as he's behind the pony. Well, maybe you can see it a little bit there as he is wearing a Sherwin. That's that rubber piece that goes down the middle of the horse's head. It's attached to the piece that goes around their pole and comes down, splits, and attaches to either side of the bit. And what it does is it helps keep the bit up in their mouth and kind of out of the way. And last time, Belleville Spring wasn't wearing a noseband at all, and sometimes the lack of equipment and now the Sherwin indicates to me that Belleville Spring might have a little bit of a breathing issue. At least I've noticed this with George Weaver horses. That's what they tend to do. He is trying the turf for the first time. I'm not overly enthused with it, and furthermore, he got really, really washed out and pretty nervous in the paddock. I agree with Andy that he could be dangerous because of his speed, but I don't feel as though I'm standing on sturdy ground suggesting taking Belleville Spring. As we will take a look at number 9, Shiraz in here, who is currently 3-1. And I like Shiraz. Second off the layoff, I think this horse has come back in the right kind of way. I was a little bit disappointed in him that he didn't get the job done, but then again, that field was wired by Marvista Miguel, and I think Shiraz could be sitting on the win effort here today, guys, with Mike Maker.
Well, he is 3-1 on the board, Shiraz, right now, but we go back to the horse who is your favorite, and that is Looking Ready. Will he bounce back off that poor effort? That was on the dirt back on January the 18th, gelded since. But can he get back to what he showed us in his 2-year-old campaign?
Well, he's a completely different horse on turf, just because you can tell by his odds. He went out of the New York ranks, and he ran 2 solid races at 15-1 and 13-1. Now, is he better at 6 furlongs?
Well, that's the thing. And I think, obviously one of the things about handicapping is trying to determine what trainers are thinking.
Yeah.
Bruce Levine must be thinking, obviously, he'd like to win this race. I mean, everybody wants to win. But he's probably thinking, he'll be a little bit better going longer. I got to start him somewhere. This race came up. I'll run him this race. Hopefully he'll run well. But they probably prefer more distance. And sometimes these horses are very distance-specific on the turf.
Meanwhile, back to the 9. Another look at Shiraz, and if he can repeat what he did last time out, that good enough to win here?
Yeah, I think it is. And he was compromised by a fairly moderate pace that held together, and a heavy favorite, a 3-5 shot beat him. He's been victimized by some tough trips. He's been compromised by slow paces, and then they've been aggressive with him, thinking the pace would be slow, and the pace got too fast. But I have picked him a lot and lost with him the majority of the time, but I still agree with Maggie. He's the one to beat, and he's now 2-1.
They've tinkered with him, too. They put blinkers on and off. They took blinkers off only 1 start, but his 1 win is here, but his numbers, they stick out too much to leave him off your ticket.
Meanwhile, lightly raced, the 8, Forward Motion, coming off a maiden score gate to wire. It was a nice performance, but he is going to need to move forward if he wants to win.
He has to break like he did last time. He broke first time out. He can't forgive this field or give that field a head start. I just think maybe he can sit in a good spot.
He's going to have company, though, too, right?
He's not the speed in this race. There's faster horses.
No.
The 7's faster, the 4's faster, and the 1 is faster. That doesn't mean he can't rate and win he did last time. Horses came out of his last race in a competitive maiden race for New York breds that, number 1, didn't get bet that strongly and did not run well at all, which makes me think it was not a particularly strong race he comes out of.
Show brought to you in part by Run Happy, champion sprinter at 2015. As we take a look here at Outrageous Bet, who was right behind Shiraz a couple starts back-to-back third-place finishes.
You know what you're going to get with him. Listen, if there's pace up front, he's going to be rolling late. So look for the son of Courageous Cat with his late kick.
He's got a chance. 6 furlongs will be much better for him than the distance last time out. I think 6 furlongs is better, and he can make, as you say, Paul, that 1 late run.
Yeah.
6-1 on the board. There's our second choice, who had been favored throughout most of it. Looking Ready, stepping in. Let's send it upstairs. Race 8 here from Belmont Park. It's Larry Colmus with the call.
And 3 back behind the gate here. Forward Motion coming up to the starting gate. Will be followed by Shiraz, who's at 2-1 right now. 5-2 on both Looking Ready and Forward Motion as Luzinski comes up to the outside stall to complete the line here. Dylan Davis and Luzinski go in, and they're all in line. They're off. Ethan Hunt had a very good start. Shiraz on the outside, looking ready from the inside. These three out the best. Forward Motion is right there. Then Belleville Spring at the rail. Outrageous Bet is next. And the trailer Lazinski is only 4.5 lengths off of Looking Ready and Javier Castellano, who have taken up the running in the race to the far turn. Ethan Hunt on the outside, second. Belleville Spring a bit hard to control, third on the inside. In behind the leaders, moving for the turn. 22.2 was that first quarter mile. Then Shiraz fourth on the outside. Forward Motion riding the inside in fifth with 3.5 lengths to make up. Then Outrageous Bet and Lazinski. Tightly packed, they move around the far turn. Looking Ready on the inside. Ethan Hunt is right alongside as they come toward the top of the stretch. Shiraz is just to the outside of them. Belleville Spring is in behind horses, and then Forward Motion on the outside. They're coming into the final furlong, and Ethan Hunt cruises to the lead. Ethan Hunt in front, Shiraz on the outside trying to close in. Belleville Spring is down toward the inside. It is Ethan Hunt and Shiraz coming down to the wire. Shiraz trying to come and get Ethan Hunt, who digs in. Ethan Hunt, Shiraz. Oh, that's tight. Ethan Hunter, Shiraz on the wire together. Belleville Spring and Outrageous Bet in 107.66.
Dead tight finish. It looks like Ethan Hunt by a whisker. First to the wire under Luis Saez. Very, very close here. Let's take another look.
I guess we'll have to see the bob. I bet Shiraz, he had absolutely no excuse if he didn't get this done. He's supposed to run down Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt has clearly improved a great deal. Win or lose this race for the Chan Toscano. He's just improved as a racehorse, and I'm very surprised how game he was today.
Yeah, you know, you got to give credit to Luis Saez. He sort of put the stick away till very late. Let's look at these lunges. 7, 9, 7, 9.
No, 7.
7 won the race, yeah.
The 9 doesn't deserve the win, and I bet the 9. I love the 9 in here. He doesn't deserve to win. He does not want to win. He had the entire stretch to get by a horse that he is just better than. And, you know, he got a very good ride in here, and that's Shiraz from Kendrick, who got tucked in with cover. He angled him out because he had to. They weren't going that fast. He simply got outrun by a horse, Ethan Hunt, who he was supposed to beat.
And how about this? Ethan Hunt, who's made a ton of starts in his career. This is his 23rd start. They just got him on the turf for the first time in his career last time out, and now second time out. He improves a little bit more and gets the job done here at 6-1.
I'm stunned that this horse won the race, but I got to tell you something. No more Shiraz for me. I know the pace was slow, and maybe he ran the best race, but he's supposed to be better than this.
And posted unofficially 7-9-1-3. That's how close it was by a true nose. Ethan Hunt gets the job done, and John Toscano Jr., well done to switch up surfaces with this horse.
And he has done a great job not just switching surfaces, Greg, but improving this horse.
Yeah.
Because you look at this horse less than a year ago, 6 to 8 months ago, he wouldn't be competitive in a turf or dirt race that he was in, and this horse has improved dramatically for these connections. They deserve a lot of credit.
Second win we've seen for Luis Saez on our show this afternoon.
And again, 107-3, you want to be towards the front end.
Want to be towards the front end when they're walking on the lead.
Yeah, sure.
Ethan Hunt, your winner in the 8th. Nightcap still to come. We're going to take a look at the Ogden Phipps contenders when we come back.
Eclipse champion Blaine notched over $4.3 million in earnings, including this historic victory over Zenyatta. Now he's making a name for himself as an internationally successful stallion. Recent top runners include multiple graded stakes winner Fault and French Classic winner Senga. In the ring, his yearlings have sold up to $350,000. Among the top sires of his crop by lifetime graded stakes horses, his 2018 stud fee offers outstanding value. Blaine, standing at Clayburn Farm.
We're back on Belmont Park Live, and race 8 in the books. Ethan Hunt out dueling Shiraz. To the wire, John Toscano Jr. winning trainer, Luis Saez aboard for the victory. Let's go to Maggie Wolfendale.
And here with John, and Ethan Hunt today was just dead game, and you seem to have found the key to him with the turf.
He found a home on the grass, obviously, you know. But that wire was a long way off. I didn't think it was going to come up. But he held on. We got it by a lip, and it was a great race.
And it's nice that he has this A other than condition still. Yeah. Do you go forward to the 2X for the New York Breds?
It's a little tougher, but we'll try it. We'll give him a shot at it.
Excellent. And we were talking about Mission Impossibles, you know, a relatively new sire that seemed to be throwing more dirt sprinters. But actually, a lot of them seem to like the turf.
Recently, if you check the records, there's 5 or 6 have won the last week or so here at Belmont. And they all seem to move up on the grass, so it's an amazing line. And if you follow, you'll see a lot of the Mission Impossibles are winning. And like I said, I think it's the second dam is Carol, and that's where it comes from.
Excellent. Well done, guys. Bet some Mission Impossibles on the turf, and congratulations here, John.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Greg.
This horse had made 21 career starts, had never tried the grass. Tried it finally back on April the 29th. 4th beat 2 lengths, and now a winner, second try.
Yeah, I just can't. I got to tell you, I can't say enough how much this horse has just improved in general. And I don't know that he's that much better in the turf than he's gotten in the dirt, but there are very few horses, Paul, that are equally talented on both surfaces.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this horse was in for 14 non-3 at one time in his life. Now the great son of Mission Impossible of the Deputy Minister Mayor, Deputy Reality, has found a new life on turf.
Was he originally Todd Pletcher? I think he might have been originally trained by Todd. Look that up.
Now Bet's late pick 5 follow along. Another price with one race still to come. Ethan Hunt, $14.20.
$2,100 with the favorite.
Ooh.
The lowest you can
What's
do
the parlay? The parlay is 770, 112, 200, 300, 1,200, about $300 for 50 cents. So you're getting 6 to 1 on the favorite right now. I think it's around $300 so far. So you're getting about 4 times value. Unbelievable.
Okay. Welcome. Greg Wolf, Paula Duca, Andy Serling. Of course, you just saw Maggie Wolfendale. Some big races coming up on the undercard on Belmont Stakes Day. Not only the Triple Crown, but of course the Run Happy Met Mile as well. Run Happy deserves a race like this, right? After what he accomplished in his career. Here's a look who's thinking about lining up for it on June the 9th.
Another great field. Awesome Slew has not missed a dance.
It's the greatest race in the year. And I know City of Light is entered this weekend run in California.
Stallion Maker.
Connection should rethink that. This is a horse that City of Light deserves to be coming for this race. He'd be one of the favorites. I think he'd be tough. But mind your biscuits. The question with Mind Your Business is, it's twofold. He's got to come back from Dubai and run well, but he's done that before. Can he do it in a mile?
Yeah,
that's saying he's run well. He ran second in the Cigar Mile, but he has to show he can win in a mile.
What you do see there is you do see 6 horses coming off a W, which means most of the horses that are going to come into that race are going to be in very good form.
And McCracken is one of them for Ian Wilkes, coming off a win at Churchill in the return to his 4-year-old campaign. Yeah. We'll see how he fares, but that day is absolutely loaded with tremendous horses. And, of course, the Ogden Phipps, a race that saw Songbird win last year. We're going to talk that race in a moment as well, but here's a look at Run Happy first on the farm in Paris, Kentucky at Clayburn Farm, part of their tremendous lineup. He's in legendary stall number 1, 7 for 7 in his career. As a sprinter, put together a 6-race win streak, including culminating in that year, Breeders' Cup Sprint in track record time at Keeneland.
Yeah, he was just a tremendous horse, and I wish I could just have as much fun as he looks like he's having out at Clayburn.
I want to thank Clayburn for their support, bringing you this show each and every day. 100 years of doing the usual, unusually well. Ogden Phipps contenders, part of that. One of the 6 grade ones we'll see on June the 9th, Belmont Stakes Day. Abel Tasman back in action. Get another crack at Salty. It's turned into a nice little rivalry between those two. Let's take a look at the Coaching Club American Oaks. And we all remember this race from last summer.
Well, I mean, Abel Tasman should have been disqualified in here, and I'll believe that forever. But that doesn't take away from the race she ran.
Good race riding.
Well, even if you think she could have been disqualified like I do, she still ran the best race. So, Elate would have been lucky to have beaten her even if she had or get put up. Because Abel Tasman moved too soon in there. She was off the rail, which is the place to be. And she had a remarkable
It was a bizarre run race.
3-year-old year. Now, the question with her is, can she bounce back from her bad performance in a return at Churchill Downs? And sometimes they go from 3 to 4, and they just don't have it anymore. So this is a very big race for her. Can she get back to her good races?
Salty, of course, was in that race. Did not go well from the very beginning. Leapt up into the air. Things went haywire early on in there, but she has battled back, and then she actually got revenge in the La Troyenne at Churchill Downs.
Is there a more deserving horse to get a good trip to win a Grade 1 than Salty? She had been so, you mentioned the coaching club, she had been so unlucky in race after race, and a lot of it was her doing, but she's a terrific horse, and the Cassies have done a great job with her.
Yeah, you could argue she might have been the best in the Oaks last year, and she got in so much trouble. Andy's right, she finally got a good trip. This is a good little field, and you forget about Farrell, and then Unbridled Mo, listen, I mean, dominant in the Apple Blossom, I know, is on a wet surface. Not dominant, but like, okay, so what do you do at this race?
Well, she was second best in the Apple Blossom.
Yeah, true.
Unique Bella stumbled at the start, or she would have won this race by 10 lengths, and we would be looking at the second place finish. I think it's really cool that the winners of all the older filly and mare Grade 1s are meeting in the Ogden Phipps, all the ones running around the country, but Unbridled Bell was a very fortunate recipient of a bad start last time.
And, of course, we're going to see Fault in the race as well. Fault coming off a Grade 3 win out on the West Coast in the Adoration for Phil Diamato. What do you think? Stack up to this kind of field?
She has been sensational. I mean, she's turf, she's dirt. I'd be rooting for her harder if she wasn't claimed from a friend of mine for $50,000.
Right? Phil Diamato, just a phenomenal trainer. The late, great Mike Mitchell taught him well, and he listened very, very well. And this horse is in great form.
Well, I mean, she was claimed by a different trainer who 2 or 3 races after she claimed her, she won the Grade 3 pucker up on the turf.
Yeah.
And she's just become a completely different horse. She was very good off the claim, but she's gotten great for Phil D'Amato. And he's a dangerous guy who shipped here with obviously last year and buried a field in a tough race.
He doesn't like to ship a ton, Phil. So when he ships, he means business.
Going to be a tremendous lineup. You don't want to miss it. Get here if you can. Again, tickets selling out fast. All the reserved seating is already gone. Coming up, a Triple Crown that could have been from spoiling a Triple Crown bid to teaming up together. Baffert and Elliott Walden now on the same team. We'll talk about that next.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
Bayern turning for home in front. Coast of New York on the outside. California Chrome is third. Shared Belief laboring back there in fifth. 1 furlong to run. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome on the outside. The 3 of them come to the wire. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome. Here's the finish. Bayern holds on.
Victory Gallop is 6 lengths from the lead, but he's gathering 6 lengths from the lead, but he's gathering momentum. And as they arrive at the top of the stretch, Real Quiet is taking the lead. He's coming to the 8th pole. 20 years in the waiting, 1 furlong to go. But here comes his rival, Victory Gallop, as they come to the final 16th. Ken Somo imploring Real Quiet to hold on. Victory Gallop, a final surge. It's going to be very close. Here's the wire. It's too close to call. Was it Real Quiet or was it Victory Gallop? A picture is worth 1,000 words. This photo is worth $5 million. Oh no, history in the waiting, on hold till we get that photo finished.
Closest finish in 20 years since affirmed in Aladar. Real Quiet, the 14th horse to lose the Triple Crown in the final race, and stewards actually suggested afterwards, if he had in fact won that race, that he very likely would have been disqualified for brushing Victory Gallop on a couple of occasions. Could you imagine that? A DQ on a Triple Crown.
He mugged him. He should have come down. Yeah, Victory Gallop would have won by more. It was mugging.
Would the crowd revolt? Would America revolt?
Is that the steward's problem?
Top 5 Belmont Stakes. What's your favorite Belmont Stakes? Be part of the conversation at the Naira. Hashtag Top 5 Belmonts. Elliott Walden, of course, he had broke his ankle about a week before. He saddled Victory Gallop in that Belmont. He, of course, will be sending out Hofburg in the Belmont this year. And
we went 6 furlongs.
A lot of buzz.
We went 6 furlongs with him. We went from the half-mile pole, and he was 48-1, 1 minute and 3/5, 1:13 3. Galloped out good and came home in good order. Looked like he took a couple deep breaths and was, caught his breath in a hurry. Justify is a very good horse. To do what he did, I would have probably been one of the first skeptics, when he came into the Derby, being a horse that hadn't run as a 2-year-old. I guess I've always been a believer in horses need to run as 2-year-olds in order to win the Derby. And I guess it's been over 100 years since it's happened. So, you've got to give the horse credit. I mean, we've got a lot of respect for Justify, but by the same token, we don't want to hand him the Belmont on a silver platter. I think, if he's going to win it, we're going to try to make him work for it.
And that was Bill Mutt discussing Hofburg, who is going forward to the Belmont Stakes, and Bill no stranger to winning the Test of the Champions as he did it back with Drosselmeyer. But in regards to this race here, so we're Mount of 16th on the turf, maiden special weight, going to take a look at a first-time starter out of the Chad Brown barn as he will send out the favorite in here as well in Frontier Market. But number 5, Admissions Office, who is taking no money, is a half to one of my favorite race mares, and just a grade 1 winning Coffee Click, who won our Just a Game here. And yes, I like him, but yes, I think he might need a start here overall. Just a little bit soft around the edges, not necessarily geared up, but I could see him running well, as we will take a look at the only other horse that is covered in the pick 6 besides Frontier Market in number 10. That is Playing Hooky, who comes off a little bit of a break here for Alan Goldberg, but arguably has run just as fast as your current favorite. And wow, he is a looker. I mean, I did see him the first time he had ran, but he's just moved forward since that as well. He's extremely good looking here. Just great flash, great coat to him. We'll see what he does here as he returns back to New York. I feel as though this Mount of 16 distance is ideal as horses are hitting the track, Greg.
Maggie, thanks. That report brought to you by Hillendale Farms, Standing Curlin for $150,000. Our post-parade coming up, and she really liked what she saw from Playing Hooky coming in from Gulfstream. 10 horse on the board at 8-1 right now. Son of Medaglia d'Oro. We'll see that one in a bit. We start with the 1. Here's Sergeant Drive, another horse coming in from Florida for Shug McGahee.
Might not be fast enough, but I actually took a small shot with this horse. Thought he didn't have the best of trips last time, and he gets a good post and a nice rider with Javier Castellano. Divide
for Todd Pletcher, second time out. Just missed by a nose to a horse who'd win again next time out.
Ran well 2 back, was awful last time.
Tearing it up is the 4. I'm intrigued by this runner. Big improvement, second start.
Yeah, a horse that's going to maybe show a little bit more speed. Put blinkers on and was tractable last time and ran a good third. Jockey switch now to Johnny Villa.
And jockey Manny Franco off divide, by the way, though 3 for Todd Pletcher. Reared up a little bit, but he gets a leg back up and all okay. Back to the other Chad Brown runner. This is the firster by point of entry.
Yeah, no money whatsoever for a horse with a big pedigree. A half, as Maggie said, to a horse who won almost $1 million and are just a game.
Another is the 6 for trainer Belmont, was second to Untamed Domain in the turf debut. A horse who ran second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
Yeah, and I think a lot of sharp handicappers are seeing that. So 20-1 down to 15-1.
Here's the 7, Tap It High, 4-year-old for John Kimmel.
Very, very expensive yearling purchase. Has not been running well in the first 2 starts.
$2.1 million.
Get that in your ashtray, right?
Oh, yeah. The 8, Mr. Discretionary for Jane Sabelli.
You know, Jane's so good off this move. They freshened this horse up. I thought this was your long shot play here. They're racing at Monmouth, by the way. They could have raced there.
End of Spirits is the 9th, second time on grass for Brian Lynch.
A horse that would have to get much faster to be competitive here.
Here's the 10 playing hooky. Maggie liked this one quite a bit in the paddock.
Sort of dead on the board. I understand, you know, at 8-1, and I know the 11's going to take a ton of money, but he got to play in here. Is a player at 8-1.
Argonne, second start, first on grass and a big turf pedigree.
Yeah, this is a horse that I thought could be interesting. Sort of a wild card in here, Argonne, and maybe a horse that can maybe show some speed, I guess, with Joey Bravo aboard.
Here's the one to beat. Even money on Frontier Market for Chad Brown.
He's a legitimate favorite. He does nothing but run races faster than these horses, but he's got to get it done one of these days.
And Lebec to the outside. He was 4 1/4 lengths behind Frontier Market last time out, and that was his turf debut.
Yeah, the dam of this horse, a lot of people forget when Zenyatta won the Breeders' Cup Classic, the Ladies' Classic was won by the dam. Life is Sweet, both trained by John Sheriffs that year. And Lebec is a player in here. If you take to the last race, that horse needed the race on turf. This horse needed that race on turf, and again, 17-1.
Irad Ortiz Jr. warming this one up without the pony here, Frontier Market. Can the favorite get it done in the finale? We'll find out next.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase, he won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe, running a 105 buyer and winning by open lengths. Mastery, new for 2018 at Clayburn Farm.
Back on Belmont Park Live, our finale coming up here, race 9 on the turf, and it is Frontier Market, the horse on your screen, the horse squarely to beat, now 4-5, Paul.
Looks well on the racetrack. The last 2 races, 65 cents on the dollar, lost to commandeering by about a neck. And then last time, the time before that, a mile and 3/16, maybe that caught up to him. But he's a 5-year-old gelding. That worries you a tiny bit with only 4 starts. But he is the one to beat.
And a tough outside post, the way this turf course is configured here at 1 mile and 1/16. Meanwhile, Andy, the 1 Sergeant Drive, drawn inside Javier Castellano aboard for Shug McGahee.
You know, my feeling with this horse was he may be a little bit on the slow side. I mean, his speed figures don't have him fast enough. But he does draw well towards the inside to get a good trip, and he gets a switch to Javier Castellano. Not to knock Tyler Gaffleone's been riding him. I don't think it was Tyler's fault last time, but I think he sort of worked into a bad trip. He was wide around the track the whole way because of his outside post. And I think it forced Tyler Gaffleone's hand in moving him too soon. And if you look at the running line in the paper, it doesn't really look like doesn't look like what he really did in the race. He actually moved the lead top of the stretch, and he just had no finish in the race. I think it's a better race than it looks, and maybe it elevates him to having a chance. And I thought his price would be right in here. Took a small shot with him. We'll see if he can beat the favorite.
He is at 9-1 on the board, the remaining half of the entry. Meanwhile, the 3 right next door is Divide. Second time out for that horse for Todd Pletcher. Gulfstream just missed by a nose to a horse who would come back, win an allowance race at Keeneland next time out, called Sniper Kitten. With more on this horse, let's go to Maggie.
Greg, as you were alluding to, that second race from Divide was his best. Yet that best still doesn't make him a winner here. But I was thinking maybe it's a little bit of a Goldilocks and the 3 Bears kind of situation with Divide. He runs decent enough on the very hard, very firm Gulfstream Park turf. Then he runs horribly on a soft turf there at Keeneland. Listed as good, but it did have a lot of moisture in it during the springtime there. I'm wondering if this course here, which is pretty pristine yet firm, he might take to. He just might be slower than the best horses in here. It very well could be. But I will say that watching him warm up, he's kind of won me over a little bit. He just really kind of melted like butter in Manny Franco's hands. Just really was pliable, really free in his movement and bouncing over the track. I like that with my turf horses. And he just looks extremely fit and fine-tuned here for Todd Pletcher. So we'll see what shakes out as he currently sits at 27-1 here, Greg.
Yeah, he is a huge price on the board for Todd Pletcher, and he's part of Clayburn Stallion roster lineup. He's a son of Flatter. And Flatter, of course, son of AP Indy, produced 6 millionaires, including a champion 3-year-old from last year in West Coast. Flat Out among those as well, 2-time Jockey Club Gold Cup winner. Favorable outcome and won the Swale back in 2017, now standing for $40,000. And one of his offspring, Flatter, Divide to 3 coming up in the next race. Maggie thought made a nice appearance here at a big number in our finale.
I'll be surprised if Divine's affected, but I'll say one thing. Maggie likes the horse that's 30-1, so there's that.
Yeah, and you can see the 2 payoffs in the pick 6 are the 10 and the 11, your 2 favorites. So if Andy's horse gets home, we'll have the pick 6 carryover.
Andy, let me ask you, 3-5 now, obviously, with that is very low, especially. Is it concern you, that outside post in the turf course, or
it's
not really?
Not great. You know, it's not like the inner turf course, which has that dog leg, and it's very difficult. But there is a break, and you got to find some position. And listen, one of the reasons that Chad Brown has been so successful, trainer turf horses, is he gets his horses to get those good covered-up trips. Tough to find cover from post 11. Has a good rider in Irad Ortiz, but there may be limited options for him. And I agree, 3-5, he is better than these horses on paper. But he's found ways to lose. He lost at 65 cents the dollar, albeit to a first-time Chad Brown horse last time. I wouldn't take 3-5, and it's one of the reasons I picked the 1. I thought he'd be an underlay.
Meanwhile, here's a look at admission office. Here's Chad Brown's first-time starter, and by a dam who actually only was trained by Bobby Frankel, by the way, won the debut at Del Mar on the turf.
Well, I guess the board tells you all you need to know. When the other one's 3-5 and the other one's 15-1, that's enough. I mean, if this horse was like 6 or 7-1, somewhere in that area, maybe, but 15-1.
With some pedigree, too. Half to a Grade 1 winner, Coffee Click, but getting no money right now, completely dead on the board. And as you see the 4 tearing it up for Brian Lynch.
I know we didn't talk about the 7 tap it high, but for a long shot at 38-1, green a couple times, maybe could be improved. Maybe.
I'd rather bet him at 38-1 than having the person who paid $2.1 million for him.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
That is true.
I wish I had $2.1 million to blow, but
that's the 7 horse these guys are talking about. A son of Tap It. Yeah, it went for $2.1 million at the Keeneland September yearling sale 2015.
There's a lot of big prices on the board when a big field there's a 4-5 shot.
There he is, son of Tap It, out of a Mr. Greeley mare for Whisper Hill Farm. We'll see if third time is the charm to break his maiden. Long way to go to get that investment back.
Yeah, it is true. He might be jumping hurdles soon.
Let's send it upstairs. 4-5 on Frontier Market, the 11. The one to beat for Chad Brown, making career start number 5. 3 seconds in 4 starts is today the day he breaks through. Larry Colmus with the call, the nightcap here from Belmont.
And now Tap It High goes into the starting gate, and Lebec will take the outside stall and complete the line here. Goes in. They're all in line. They're off. Tap It High at admission office broke at the rear of the field. Mr. Discretionary comes out running on the lead with End of Spirits on the outside. And from the rail, it's tearing it up. These three with the most early foot to the backstretch. Then Lebec and another down toward the inside. They're followed by Playing Hooky. Frontier Market is next. And then in between horses comes Argonne. Divide is down on the inside, and then Tap It High, followed by Sergeant Drive at admission office. It's been outrun so far, 23:07 for that first quarter mile. Up the backstretch, tearing it up on top, a half a length. Mr. Discretionary on the outside, second. Behind the leaders, another down toward the inside. End of Spirits and Lebec going up between those two. Then it's Tap It High, 4 from the front. In 6th up the backstretch. Then Divide on the inside, followed by Playing Hooky. Outside of them, it's Frontier Market. And then it's Argonne and Sergeant Drive, 9 lengths off the lead at admission office. 46.41 was the half mile. Tearing it up, and Mr. Discretionary locked in battle on the far turn. Another on the inside. End of Spirits is there. Lebec has come under a ride from 5th. After that comes Frontier Market trying to get going from 6th while moving widest on the far turn. In behind them, Sergeant Drive is still in hand and starting to pick up stride now, and Sergeant Drive is going to take the overland route as they turn for home. Tearing it up on the inside, cutting the corner in front. Plenty of competition coming. Here's Frontier Market on the outside, who now charges up to take the lead. And from the back of the pack, Sergeant Drive and admission office too, who is far behind, and here comes admission office. On the outside of Frontier Market, admission office gets up from last. Frontier Market was second, another was third, fourth close, maybe tearing it up in 140.23.
It is the other Chad Brown runner, the first-time starter, no experience, getting the job done first time out under Jose Ortiz.
Wow. And the horse, I mean, had a pretty good trip. The 11 had a good trip, too. Was able to slice through horses as they weren't going crazy fast on the front end. I guess 110. They finished up in 134. But listen, it's just Chad Brown's world and we're living in it. 13-1, and it's one of these things where you're like, I got beat by Chad Brown at 13-1?
Dead on the board as could be.
I don't know what to say. Had a big pedigree. I mean, got the setup. I have to watch it again.
Have to grade 1 winner coffee click. But in surprising, it had some pedigree. Just got no attention at all.
None. You know what? And this is a lesson for you to learn. Like, Chad's not that guy that sends out horses and the bigger price wins. He didn't think this horse could run, but sometimes what ends up happening is, I'm not saying he didn't think the horse could win or run. The horse outruns what the horse has been doing in the morning, gets competitive, and actually won the race in hand. And the 11 is the 11 what he is. He sort of waits on horses a tiny bit.
And that's the thing. You never know until you run them in the afternoon if they're going to step up and show you something different, and this horse certainly did.
His horses are trained well to make that kick at the end. This one made the last kick. It's possible because of the post, the 11, he probably had to move a little sooner than he would have liked. You know, maybe he would have been better off sort of being more patient, taking back. But it's hard because the post, it sort of forces your hand. I don't disagree with you, Paul. I don't think the 11 had a terrible trip in here. 5 ran him down. He ran. He ran to his pedigree.
3 wins today for jockey Jose Ortiz. Nice way to close out the card for him.
Good call by you, too, because, you know, it ran 5-11, but you called out the 6, who ran a good third, and you tracked that Untamed Domain line, and you got 29-1. So hopefully you were able to follow that with the 4 tearing it up, and makes a nice little super.
5-11, 6-4. 13-1 over 4-5 over 29-1. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. We'll wrap up the 9th right after this. Stay tuned.
NyraBet's your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
Back on Belmont Park Live, Chad Brown, first-time starter, admission office getting the win. 3 wins today for jockey Jose Ortiz. It's on a point of entry out of a Royal Academy mare. Miss Chapin gets the win. $28.40 for Chad Brown, runner on the turf. Yeah, was completely dismissed at the windows. His big favorite winds up second in here, Frontier Market. Another at a price running third.
Look at those
NyraBet's late pick 5, $6,673.02. Wow. There's a NyraBet's late pick 5 follow along. Lion in Wait, a favorite, Magari, third choice, and then a couple of numbers in there as well, including the last race, the biggest. But a great payoff, again.
It is a great payoff because when you look at it, Dirty paid good. Now, this horse didn't play 26.60 because when you look in the form, you see 6-1, you see Chad Brown, and I think a lot of people say you have to use. So it's still a tremendous payoff. It was the second lowest payoff at 6,600, but listen, like I said, it's his world, and you just got to use him on the turf. I don't care what they look like.
I mean, it's just he keeps on doing it.
It's like Baffert.
And the turf, you can't beat him.
If you get beat by him, it's almost to the point where you're dumb for not putting the horse in because he's the best trainer on turf. Why not throw him in?
The horse may have been helped almost by getting left. Getting left sort of took him out of the pace. The pace ended up collapsing, and that last run worked for him.
Yeah.
First-time starter gets it done in the last. We're going to be here all weekend long, Memorial Day weekend. We hope you join us back same time each and every day over the next 3 days here. So we hope you join us for more great action from Belmont Park, including on Memorial Day Monday. Today, well, Ethan Hunt back in the 8th. Bit of a surprise to help that NyraBet's late pick 5 payoff. One of a couple of victories for jockey Luis Saez. 21 career starts, never was on turf. Finally got him on the grass late April. Second time turf into the winner's circle on the new surface. Belmont Park Live for Friday afternoon in the books. We will see you on Saturday at 4 Eastern. Take care.